You're stuck in ranked, but you want this, or maybe even this. I truly believe anyone can achieve at least diamond by just making some small adjustments to how you play in ranked. Hi, I'm Scott, and these are the 7 reasons you may still be stuck in ranked and how you can fix them. My first tip is fixing the start of your game by simply choosing a solid landing location. So many people seem to drop hot or drop contested with other teams right in the center of the map. Ideally, you need to be picking somewhere that's uncontested and towards the edges of the map. Now, I know Kings Canyon in particular is a real pain for this, and a real pain in ranked in general. Honestly, I see so many people landing containment, and I just question why. If you want to do that, please play pubs. The minute you start fighting in containment, you're gonna have a 3rd, 4th, 5th party, especially on Kings Canyon. If it's maps like Olympus and World's Edge, still you want to avoid the hot drops, and you want to think where everyone lands in pubs is where you want to avoid, and you want to play the areas where people might not be necessarily landing, which more often than not is towards the edges of the map. You're going to have a better chance, it's going to give you more time to get more loot and get the guns that you're after, get better armor, craft some batteries, whatever you might need before then deciding whether to take on a fight or a 3rd party. Secondly, this is a big one, and it's something I see a lot of people not doing, especially below diamond ranked, and this is simply communication. The number 1 priority should be talking to your teammates and telling them exactly what you're doing. If you're duo queuing and you're relying on a random 3rd, please don't stay in a party chat. Go to the game chat. I do this when I'm duo queuing, and then more often than not, the 3rd will just start talking to us or giving us communication when we really need it, because they know we're on mic, they know we're speaking, and they know we're giving comms. You need to be informing your team when you're maybe pushing on a fight, when you want to rotate, maybe when you're even backing out of a fight. I think sticking together is so important because it is a team-based game at the end of the day. And if you're running off to chase one player and your team is still looting a fight that maybe just happened, they might not know, you might head into a full team of 3 and you're just going to get beamed, and it leaves your team in a sticky situation of maybe trying to recover your banner or just playing the rest of the game as a duo. Please inform your team when you're pushing, when you're backing out, talking to them, and deciding who maybe the IGL is as well. Maybe if no one's doing that, someone takes the role, maybe it's yourself. You need to be all on comms, all listening to one person and going, okay, we're going to move here, there, next, we're going to attack this 3rd party, this is where we're going to get to, this is where we're going to position, we're going to hit this recon beacon on the way, we're going to maybe pass through this area here, just little things like that, and knowing how much damage you're dealing to people. I know we now have announcements in game for cracking enemies, but telling them as well really helps, because more often than not, if I'm engaged in a fight, I can't be looking at the top right of my screen if I'm trying to beam someone. So just being constant, this is how much damage I've dealt. This guy is not saying 1 shot, but this guy, I've done 150 on him, I've done 50 on flesh to this guy, just little things. And then maybe you need to heal, tell that your team, okay, I need to back out now, I need to heal. Actually, this fight's going on a bit too long, maybe we should back out now and reposition. Just constantly being on comms, telling everything what's going on is super beneficial, and it's really the difference that it makes in a good team. Next up, only play the legends you're comfortable with and know inside out. There's a lot of times that people will pick a legend that they think will be more beneficial purely for ranked or purely just to balance out the team composition. But if you can't play that legend, it's really just a waste. Say you pick Gibraltar, but you actually main someone like Wraith. The playstyle is completely different, their abilities are completely different, and you not knowing how to utilize Gibraltar properly and where to best use him, how to use his abilities, everything like that is really detrimental to your team, because you're not playing him as best as he can be played and maximizing on his potential. But if you're a Wraith main and you know exactly about using your portals, when to use them, how to rotate your team around the map, using them properly in sticky situations you might need them, that is way more beneficial than a Gibraltar that's not really doing much or using their abilities properly. A big one here that I don't think a lot of people do is just focusing more on your positioning, particularly in the lower ranks. Give yourself the best advantages you you can in gunfights than solely going after kills. The aim, of course, is to win, and you get more points for winning than it is to drop a ton of kills. Besides, dropping more than 5 or 6 kills doesn't get you any more RP anyway, so there's really no point. If you get some KP at the start of the game or mid-game, there's no need to run around and continuously go after kills if you don't need it. You can play it a little safer if that's your preferred style. Obviously, some people do prefer to play more aggressively and are way more comfortable like that. Some players can do that, and others, if you're the average player, you're probably going to be a bit less comfortable taking the fights. So focus on your rotations and positioning yourself well in the rings, maybe not going directly to the center of the end rings because then everyone's going to focus on you, but think about the ways you're rotating around the map. Think about your end positioning, how you're going to get to the end, where all the teams are, where you need to avoid, where you just want to go to position yourself best to give you the best chance towards the end of the game and the best chance towards the final ring. The teams who have the best position in the end ring always come out on top and always win the game, and it's finding that fine line of not getting there too early but not getting there too late. Something I do need to talk about, of course, as it wouldn't be complete, especially in Kings Canyon Ranked, is third parties. Unfortunately, we all hate them, and Kings Canyon is no good for this. As soon as you start firing mid-game in a busy area or in the center of the map, anything like that, you're gonna have about 5 teams on you. 5 teams who want some KP, and they all want kills. So it just turns into a massive kill fest, and it gets ridiculous. The thing you need to do is you need to be the third party, but then if a fight's going on too long between you and a squad, anything more than 30 seconds, you really need to be getting out of there. If you're not getting any knocks in 30 seconds, get out of there. And then if you do get some knocks, get that fight cleaned up as fast as possible and expect another team is on their way. If you preempt a team is coming your way, you will loot faster and you will get out there as fast as possible. Staying there too long and looting and just grabbing little bits of things you probably don't even need is really what's going to get you killed, because another team has probably had their fight, they're on the way, or they're Val culting in, and they're ready to kill you. Please loot fast and move as fast as possible, especially after there's been a lot of noise made in Kings Canyon. The next mistake you're making is not playing selfishly. Now, I know I said this is a team-based game and you really need to stick with your team, but in certain situations, you also need to be prepared to play selfishly. If one of your teammates goes down because they overcommitted to a fight and you can't really get to them because the team who killed them is banner camping, it's probably not worth you taking that 2v3 and risking your own lives in the sake of the banner. If you're crypto, this is obviously easy for you and you don't need to worry about it. But for most of us, we don't play crypto, and the risk of getting your teammate's banner in a situation like that is probably not worth the reward. If you are still with a duo or even a solo and you're on your own at this point, it's better just to rat or go for better position, as that'll just accumulate your KP multiplier and give you more points. I think a lot of people always get too concerned that their teammates will say something if they don't grab their banner, but a nice, calm, comfortable teammate will simply say, no, just leave me, go for the position, the points are more important than my banner. You just need to understand when it's more important to prioritize the position than it is reviving your teammates. Now, the 7th mistake you could be making is simply your mentality entering games. This is an interesting one, but if you think that every team you're fighting is automatically better than you and they're diamond players so they're going to kill you, or they're masters players so they're going to kill you, you're immediately disadvantaging yourself. You're going to play different because you think they're better than you, and it's going to affect you and affect how you're playing, affect your aim, everything like that. And you really think it won't, but the placebo effect is pretty powerful. Honestly, just go into the game with confidence and thinking you can take the teams, not being overconfident because you just watched some Asu or Shiv, but you know, having that mentality of, okay, everyone's on an even playing field, we're all the same ranked, it's 50-50 fights, and we all have the capability of winning the game. The moment you start getting annoyed or find yourself raging at ranked and losing a lot of points, please just take a break and come back to it maybe the next day or a couple days down the line, or even just a few hours. Just having a little break so you're not in that kind of angry state is really going to make you play different. The more RP you lose, and the angrier you get at Apex isn't going to do you any favors, and it's going to actually make you play worse. So just take a break and think about your mentality going in towards the games. Now, I've actually included a bonus tip for those of you who may be really struggling, and please listen to this one. This is to stop solo queuing. You're doing yourself no favors, and you might be thinking, but Scott, how can I stop solo queuing? I don't have anyone to play Apex with. There's plenty of Discords out there where you can find teammates, things online, maybe even in-game. If you find someone in-game that you really click with and do well with, invite them back, send them a friend request. Just please stop solo queuing. The more you get into playing with the same kind of people, the same kind of team, it's really going to benefit you because you know how they play, you know their playstyle, you don't have to predict how you have to play, you know how the games are going to go. You can check out my Discord, you can check out the actual Apex Discord, and there's plenty other ways to find actual teammates to play with. But if you still want more Apex tips, you can click on the screen now where I've compiled 100 Apex tips to help you improve. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.